What if Deku was sent? Remake. So let's begin. In the last one, Inko adopt Izuku and her little sister, his little sister Pira to her family. So I will make a time skip. In those time skip, Izuku getting closer and knowing Hisashi and Inko and getting warmed up to them a little. He was interested in Hisashi work as a scientist, and Hisashi helped Izuku to learn a little. And Hisashi was surprised to know how smart Izuku can be, even for a kid his age. Because when Inko adopted Izuku and Pira, both of them is actually 7 years old. And I made a time skip about 3 years. So now they are 10. And Hisashi always brought Pira and Izuku go to the lab so they can train their quirk. Pira have the same quirk like his brother, but Hisashi see that Pira quirk, the form of her blaster, is more friendly than Izuku. Izuku blaster is more deadly looking, and Hisashi see that Izuku is ready to kill someone. The place that Hisashi work is actually trying to help some children that have a problem with their quirk to make them have more control of it. Wait a second. Wait, why you cannot? Sorry about that. One day, Izuku walked around the facility and he see through the glass window about a little girl that have a brown hair. He looked at the girl and he see the girl have a golden eye. Her eye is golden. It's color of a gold. And he see another scientist and say, okay, let's begin our next test. Okay, the little girl nod, and the person have a baby gun and she shot, and the girl dodged quite fast and quite easy, and Izuku was somewhat interested, so he just watched. He see that the girl is quite fast and quite agile, even for her age. For the girl getting easier, and then the scientist say, okay, the first test is done, so let's see what about how she can do. And Izuku, after hearing this, somewhat confused, so she looked and the girl nod, and the girl closed her eye, and then she opened, and Izuku was surprised to see that her eye is now red. She was confused to what happened. The scientist shot a gun at her, and the girl dodged it, and Izuku saying that she dodged more faster and easier than before. And Izuku see that the girl is walking to the scientist, and is getting closer and closer, and then the girl somehow create a knife and put it in and put the knife close to the scientist's stomach and the scientist say, whoa, whoa, please don't hurt me. And the girl say, whatever. And Izuku was interested to what is happening right now. So the scientist get out from the room, and the professor is female. She see Izuku and say, oh, Midoriya. Yeah, Midoriya. No, she say, oh, Izuku, what are you doing here? And Izuku say, I'm just watching what happening, and I was surprised to what she did. Is she have somewhat a split personality or something? And I see that she can create a knife, and the knife is somewhat like energy. And the scientist say, oh, you see that? And the scientist explained that her name is Phrase. When the gold eye is, when she has a gold eye, but when she has a red eye, her name is Chara. And so Izuku say, oh, and Izuku asks, is that her quirk, split personality or something? And the scientist say, you can say that, but it's actually not. And the scientist and Izuku was confused and asked, what do you mean by that? The scientist explained that the split personality is different. You see, she explained that Fish and Chara is a different entity itself, but they share the same body, and it's quite amazing and quite fascinating, don't you think? And Izuku looked at her and said, yeah, it's quite fascinating. And Izuku asks if I can go talk to her, and the scientist somewhat nervous and say, no, she shake off back of her head and say, well, you see, Chara is somewhat, you see, she is actually not a talkative type. No, she says Prince is not the talkative type, talking type, but Prince is. But Borden not really like to talk to a boy, to a man, to a male. And Izuku asks, why is that? And the professor say that, you see, her father is actually abusing her when he was younger. And she snapped one day and Chara killed him. And Izuku, after hearing that, somewhat surprised and say, is that why they don't like a male? Because of their father being abusive? And the scientists say yeah. And Izuku looked at her, and the glass was one side, can only see by one side, the other side cannot look. And Izuku have a determination. The scientists see that Izuku have a determined face. So Izuku look at her and say, please let me go talk to her. If she try to hurt me, I will immediately use my shortcut teleport outside. And I will explain what Izuku or Sans. Yeah, I will call him Sans for now. Sans Izuku can use power. He can create a bone, summon a bone from the ground, from the wall, from the ceiling. Can use blow magic to manipulate the gravity of his surrounding. Can summon a Gaster Blaster. and he learns somewhat a martial art. To Inko somewhat force him to learn a martial art to protect himself and not to let people know that he has a quirk. And he can use Blaster Blaster as if I remember to say that. And I will put something. He can use a flame magic. He can create a flame. And his flame is blue. And Pira can do the same thing. He can, but her flame is actually orange. And this is a special part. I give to Izuku. He can create a blue string like air sand. And you guys say, but Sand don't have that power. And I say, yeah, I know, but I want to give him a cool looking power. And I really love Aero Sand ability to use a string to destroy the universe, to destroy an AU. So I will give him that. And don't worry, he will not use it to destroy something or an AU. Izuku go inside the room that have that Chara / Freeze in. And the one that take control for now is actually Chara. No, it's actually Freeze. And Izuku walk. And when she see him, she immediately step backward. And Izuku say, hey, don't worry, I will not hurt you. I just want to talk. Freeze getting nervous and she step backward to the corner to the wall, and Izuku getting closer. And then when Freeze close her eye, Chara take control and she create a knife and go to attack Izuku. And Izuku dodged the attack. And Chara was surprised to see that the boy is quite fast. Chara tries to slash him with a high-speed attack, but the boy dodging it faster because of Sen good at dodging. So of course I will give him a good dodging skill. And Sen's grab wrist of Chara / Freeze hand and say, please, I don't want to talk. I will not hurt you. So please, turn off your quirk so we can talk. Chara look at her and say, fine. No, she look at him and say, fine, we can talk. No, we can talk. But if you try to do something funny, I will slit your throat off. Your throat. And Izuku say, yeah, I know. So please, can we just sit and talk for a moment? And both of them talk. And sometimes Freeze will take control to ask some question. And Chara will ask a question as well. But most of the question is coming from Freeze. Freeze warm up to Izuku and see that Izuku is actually a nice person. Chara know that Izuku is a nice person, but she still, you see, not open her arm yet. Not for now, but in the future. Freeze asks, so why are you doing here? And Izuku say, well, you see, my father is actually the main scientist of this facility, and I come here to train my quirk. And after Freeze / Chara hearing this, Chara asks Freeze to take control, and Freeze give her And Chara say, wait, what do you mean you train your quirk? I hear Mel should not have a, no, she say, Mel should not have a quirk. They're impossible. And Izuku say, yeah, well, I'm an exception. See? Izuku summoned a bone, and Chara was surprised and say, wait, how? If you really can use a quirk? This is amazing. And Chara realized that she getting excited, so she tried to act like a tough guy or tough girl and say, huh, I must admit, it's quite, it's not a bad quirk. And Izuku's saying this and smirked, say, thank you, Chara. And Chara looked at him and then she somewhat pouted, say, whatever, I will face, you can take the control now. Face, you can take the control. And then Fish asked him a bunch of questions. And Izuku answered a lot of her questions and explained what he can do. And then Chara getting more interested and asked Fish if he can take the control again. And Fish give Chara the control. Chara asked, so you can create anything. You can summon a bone and the thing you call a gas blaster that can shoot energy. Can you show me that thing? And then Izuku say, sure. Izuku summoned a gas blaster and Chara was amazed and see that the blaster is cool. Looks pretty cool. And she say it's pretty cool. And it's look quite deadly. And Sen say, yeah, I know. My sister version of it more friendly than mine. And after Chara hearing this, she say, you have a sister? And Izuku say, yeah, I do have a sister. And we born in the same years. And Chara say, so you are a twin? And Izuku say, no, I actually born in January. And my sister was born before Christmas. I think it's January, right? The first month of the years. And yeah, nah, I don't care. I will explain this. Izuku born in the first month of the years, and her little sister Pira born in the 12th months of the years. So anyway, all of them getting closer to each other, and Chara warmed up to Izuku as well. And then they hear Izuku get a call from his phone, and Izuku picked up, and it was from his dad. And Hisashi say, Izuku, where are you? And Izuku say, oh, I with Chara and Phrase. And after Hisashi hearing that, he immediately say, you what? Hisashi immediately run after hearing that and he immediately opened the door and say, Izuku, are you alright? Chara, after seeing Hisashi, she immediately put her guard up. And then Izuku say, whoa, Chara, calm down. Tell my father, he will not hurt you. I promise. Chara looked at Izuku and he trusts him and say, fine, I will trust you if you say so. And Chara put her knife down. No, he uncreated and summoned her knife. And Hisashi was surprised to know that Chara here listened to Izuku, of all people. And Izuku say, hey dad. And Hisashi say, Izuku, why don't you call me? I was worried. You know what your mom will do to me if she found out that I lost you. And Izuku tried to imagine what will go be. And Inku can be scary sometimes. Especially when Hisashi stay up late at home and try to create something while she tried to sleep. And Izuku say, yeah, mom can be scary. And Hisashi sigh and say, anyway, we better get going. We still have an hour before we can go home. And I have a little bit of project. I have to go to your little sister because after I hear that you are with Chara, I immediately lost sight of her and go run to you as fast as I can. And Hisashi say, and please don't tell your mother that I forgot to brought Pira with me when I... No, Hisashi say, and please don't tell your mother about this, about part that I left Pira back. And Izuku say, okay father, okay dad. And then Hisashi say, good, I will let you two talk. And I will go take Pira, okay? Hisashi go. And both Izuku and Chara / Freeze talk. Freeze asks, so that your father is one of the high scientists of this facility, right? And Izuku say, yeah. And Izuku Izuku asks Freeze / Chara about their quirk. And Chara and Freeze say, well, you see, I'm not really that good at explaining something, so I will let it to Chara. And inside of their mind, Chara say, Freeze, you... Why you Freeze? Freeze, you! And then Chara take control and say, God damn it, Freeze. And Izuku say, so, can you explain me about your quirk? And Chara say, fine, I will explain. Our quirk is somewhat, we call it determination. It's connecting to our will power. And our determined, if we more determined, we can become more stronger. And you see that, and we can create a weapon. And Izuku think to himself while muttering, and then he say, wait, can you create a weapon in mid-air without holding it? And Chara, after hearing that, and Fizz after hearing that as well, side of the mind, both of them think, why don't we think of that before? And Chara say, wait, let me try. Let me try. Chara stand up, and then she try to create a weapon in mid-air, and it worked, but she can only summon one. And Chara then say, look and she say it's work. And then she fall down and say, but it's quite hard. And Izuku laugh and say, you will get better of it. At first, it's quite hard for me to create a weapon in mid, to summon a bone in mid-air. But if you train it, it will become more better and more strong. Let me show you. Chara look and Izuku summon a bone in mid-air, and Chara see there are not 10 bone. It's about 100 bone in the room that Sen summon right now, and it's on mid-air. And Chara was amazed and say, wow. Both them and Freeze, Chara and Freeze getting along with Izuku. And then Hisashi knock on the door and Hisashi say, Izuku, we have to go. We have to go home. So you please say goodbye to your friend. Okay? Izuku say, okay dad. And Izuku say, well, see you next time. And when Izuku tried to walk off, Chara hold his hand, Freeze, hold his hand and say, wait, you will come back, right? And Izuku smiled and say, yeah, I will. So don't worry, I will come here and go talk to you two again. I will make a more time skip, and I will explain something. In those few years, Izuku introduced Pira to Freeze and Chara, and all three of them become a close friend. Chara somewhat don't like to talk so much, so she gave it to Freeze to talk more. But Sen sometimes asks Freeze to let Chara take control and to make her more socializable. And Freeze agreeing with this. And the three of them become good friends, and Chara was been trained and been helped by Sen to using her quirk to be Freeze and Chara to become more stronger. And now Chara can summon a bunch of weapons in mid-air, and she can shoot it. And Izuku told them to make a doll so they won't hurt the people. Even though they're a villain, they cannot kill them. And Chara understands this, so she make it doll. Make it like a baton in mid-air and shoot it. Not as strong to piercing them, just knock them out. And I will end it right here. Sorry if this don't have any action, but you guys have to wait. Okay? But anyway, see ya. Bye bye.